Yeah, right in the lower village.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I know. Yeah, I forget the name of it. Yeah. No, it was the nicest. So
We here in Colorado do see it every day, so we tend to take it for granted. This is going to be a fun crowd. There's an interesting process that happens with many types of rocks called cross-wedging. The water gets in the cracks and crevices. It freezes over and over, especially during the long winters out here, sometimes resulting in some interesting formations in the rocks as the cracks expand or sometimes break into smaller pieces. We have everything from poles that they had up here over 125 years ago. When they took them down about 100 years ago, they did get as much as they saw the massive boulders. It's because of the process cross-wedging. The water gets in the cracks and crevices and freezes much more often up here. This breaks it into the smaller pieces and causes them to tumble down the mountain, making it look almost as if there was an earthquake up here. Lightning, the dynamite exploded, killing 3 people as well as the donkey. The people are buried back down in Manitou Springs, but the donkey was buried up here on the mountain. This corner that we're also getting our first view of the Pikes Peak Highway off on the 3-seat side. It's a road that's about 20 miles long, has over 150 hairpin turns, and there's just a few of those pesky guardrails to get in your way. Every year in June, they hold the second oldest otter race in the United States called the Pikes Peak Lake Sebastian Loeb, who made it up those 13 miles in 8 minutes and 13 seconds. This is not one of my tall tales either. In fact, I highly encourage you that you could just recommend that you take any valuables with you, as there will be no one here guarding your things. If you're not coming back down with us, whether you're hiking, biking, or taking your car down with a friend, please just let me know. Otherwise, I think that I've left you behind up here, and that does make me feel particularly guilty. And if you haven't already, please push your windows all the way to the top. Otherwise, we're going to return to a giant red refrigerator. And I know from experience that that's not that much fun. There are also quite some gusts of wind out here, so I recommend you hold onto your hats, especially baseball caps, as I don't want any of those going flying off to the side of the mountain, as it will be impossible to retrieve at that point. We will be stopping here in just about a minute, so if I could have everyone stay in their seats for me. We do sometimes stop with a bit of a jolt. I'll be putting down the ramps, and then you'll be free to go about your way on America's mountain. I have one last question for you folks. What was that boarding time that I gave you? 3:20, that is correct. Please do not come back at 3:30 or you will be waving goodbye to the train. If you do happen to forget that boarding time, it is at 3:20, but just keep an ear out for those 3 blasts of the horn to let you know it is time to get back on board the train.
They still what? They'll take your money at the bottom.
Was a dog.
Yeah, they'll take your money.
Oh yeah, you would really enjoy that.
And then hand it to the person closest to the center aisle. You'll be able to keep the middle part as a souvenir if you'd like, or you can just throw it away once you get off the train. I just need that 2 Manitou side. This time I'll be starting at the top of the